My flame has been extinguished.
Insolent shall be punished.
Eyes on me!
Impertinent fool, be gone! Flows through me! Ad Astra ab.
If you ever want to trade tactics, I'm always ready.
Visions.
Visions? You mean all the visions that are collected from the Vision Hunt decree are put into this statue?
So you've already heard of the Vision Hunt decree. Before I try to explain, I should perhaps remind you first that as for Inazuma, it's known as the Nation of Eternity. The Raiden Shogun is both the nation's most powerful ruler and its deity. The eternity in question is her endless and unchanging will to rule over Inazuma. As such, she relies on the Tri-Commission to regulate the nation's affairs. The Shogun wishes to keep Inazuma in stasis, allowing the stream of time to flow from one end.
Seems like every god has their own will.
Of course, this is my own limited understanding. As for the reason behind the recent Vision Hunt decree, perhaps the Shogun believes that visions grant people the power to change, and that her eternity doesn't allow for such instability to exist. Whatever the case, the fact is that the Raiden Shogun has dispatched the Tenryou Commission to scour the nation for visions, embedding each one in this statue. And this statue of the omnipresent god can be seen as Inazuma's symbol of eternity.
But if that's the case, wouldn't you say that the Raiden Shogun is being, oh, I don't know, selfish?
Only outlanders such as yourselves would ever dare speak out so directly against the Raiden Shogun. And yet, I agree. The Vision Hunt decree is something that simply should not exist. And Miss Kamisato has been committed to fighting it since the day it was announced.
Huh? Hey, are you okay? You look like your mind is elsewhere.
Sound? What sound? I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, you touched the statue, and then what?
Aspirations? That would seem to confirm the saying. Have you heard it before? That when a person's ambition reaches a certain strength, the gods look upon them with favor. That is where visions come from. In other words, a person's vision represents their ambition. So if what you just said is true, then the ambitions of these people are stronger than I imagined. Alright, time for the next stop on our tour of Narukami Island, the Kamisato residence.
Finally! kind of place where the big shots of Inazuma live, huh? Paimon kinda expected it to be...
Welcome at last to the Kamisato residence, honored guest. Miss Kamisato is delighted to finally meet you.
Is this the Shirasage Himegimi you keep going on about? Oh, behind the...
Yes. As the daughter of the Yashiro Commission, this is how Miss Kamisato is accustomed to receiving gifts. Consider it a time-honored tradition within the Yashiro Commission. Forgive me.
Makes sense. She's a super important person after all.
Please forgive my lack of courtesy for receiving you in this fashion, especially following such a long and wearisome journey over the... I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation, and Toma assures me that you do indeed possess the power to change. At present in Inazuma, in the name of the Vision Hunt Decree, the people's aspirations are being senselessly... Though the Yashiro Commission serves the Shogun, it is the people with whom we share close bonds. Given the contact we are required to... A commission's power rises and falls with the trust of their people. Thus, we cannot remain indifferent to this situation without... Traveler, lend us your power, and we can... Oh...
See, milady, it's just like I said. This will take us nowhere.
No, please! Wait! Please, don't go! I will introduce you to the Raiden Shogun on one condition. You must fulfill 3 small wishes on my behalf.
What are your wishes?
They pertain to 3 whose visions were taken from them. Perhaps once you've met them, you will understand.
A warrior who guards a village, a former samurai who helped carry out the Vision Hunt Decree, and a swordmaster determined to become the best in the world.
Correct. Please do all you can to help them. I will... Then...
I'm sure you'll do great.
See, where's the person Ayaka told us about?
Why are you doing this? What?
Precisely. It's much too sudden. The children are desperate for you to take them out to play. Please, we urge you to reconsider.
That must be the guy Ayaka told us about. Let's go over and...
You must also be here to try and convince Tejima has protected this place ever since, keeping out the treasure hoarders, fending off any monsters that draw near. But now, all of a sudden, he says we will gladly apologize if that...
If you want my opinion, something to do with the Vision Hunt decree. It's clear that Tejima had done nothing wrong. I can't claim to fully understand it, but I could tell that he'd lost something very important. Truth be told, we aren't sure whether trying to keep him here is the right thing to do. But equally...
Seems like he's a well-respected guy around here. You must be Tejima. So what's made you want to up and leave all of a sudden?
Me? It's not a question of why I want to leave, but a question... True. But that's not why I chose to stay here. And what made me want to come here 30 years ago? And why have I never wanted to leave? And I don't have answers to those questions, because I can't remember anymore. Ever since they took my vision away in the past, I knew...
Okay. Well, in that case, if we help you rediscover... But if you can't remember anything, it's not gonna be easy. Oh, maybe if you just try a little harder to remember, then it'll all come flooding back?
Oh, that reminds me. Last time I brought Tejima some fruit, I do believe I saw him writing in a diary.
I keep a diary? If you say so.
Oh, yes, yes, you do. And what's more, I remember you saying,
Perfect! So
if you don't mind, we will leave you.
This looks like Tejima's diary. Let's see what we... Today, the villagers and I got together to cook dry braised salt. Today, I helped rescue a kid who had fallen in the water. After I pulled him out, he told me that his best friend Bamboo was still in the water. I searched the water the whole afternoon before finding out that Bamboo was the name of his pet crab. I went kite flying today. The string broke, so I... Seems like your average diary of daily... Huh? Wait, I went to pray at the shrine again today and stayed there a while. The Omamori you gave me has faded a little, but it is still my Now that's the kind of info we're looking for! So this is the Omamori Tejima wrote about. Interesting. Looking at the color and the design, Paimon... But anyway, if he had this... Somewhere that Tejima visited. The soil looks like it's been disturbed. Maybe Tejima must be something pretty amazing if it made him stick around. It looks like a letter. The paper's gone yellow. Must have been... Konda Village. Sounds so familiar. Where is that place again? Huh. So the reason Tejima came here was to wait for someone. But he's been here for 30 years. Oh, guess they didn't show up in the end, huh? Well, let's go give Tejima his stuff back and...
Well, I'll be. That's certainly my handwriting. And I guess But I have no memory of anything that's written in this diary. Still, it's clear that I was waiting for someone here, and that I chose to wait for 30 years. Over the years, I must have made a note of anything interesting. Anything that... And just look at all the things that did happen over the years. How could I have forgotten something so important to me? Love, regret, everything I felt for her. No, not especially. After all, I've forgotten who she... It's as if she'd never been in my life to begin with. I think... maybe not. If this is something I waited most of my life for, I suppose I should carry on. Although, when I think about it like that, how curious. Why am I thinking like this when I don't even remember who she is? It's just like that feeling of emptiness. Thank you both for helping me. I shall remain here and keep waiting.
Tejima seems to be dealing... okay. But still, it makes Paimon really sad. Seems it's just like Ayaka and Toma were saying. If you lose your... That certainly explains the state Tejima was in earlier. At least we were able to help him. We're... Well, let's go find the next person. According to Miss Kamisato, the second one who lost their vision is a samurai from the Tenryou Commission. They say the Tenryou Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining law. But why would they take action against one? Paimon doesn't get it. Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's happening.
I'll ask one more time. Do you intend to withhold this month's emergency provisions?
The entire clan is counting on that food! We demand an explanation!
How many times do I have to say it? I don't know anything about emergency provisions!
You dare deceive us?
You samurai think you can just do whatever you please? The Tenryou Commission will hear of this!
Oh, huh? And who are you? One of Kurosawa's gang, no doubt.
What? We just happened to be passing by. We heard the commotion and came to see what the matter was.
I see. You seem to have come just at the right time. Perhaps you can help us. This is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's army. They issue emergency provisions to the area, and he's the one responsible for distribution. In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. Now, he suddenly refuses to give us anything. He's keeping the provisions for himself. I just know it. We'll starve without...
No one seems to care about us. We used to think Kurosawa was a kind man, but he's shown his true colors. It's no wonder all the visions have been confiscated. The Raiden Shogun doesn't...
This must be one of the people Ayaka asked us. Maybe we should talk to Kurosawa.
I've never even heard of these emergency provisions. I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But either way, it's ridiculous. My own family can barely get by as it is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got other matters to attend to. And that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day. The Shogun's army told me that I was unworthy of my vision. And they said I was slacking off in my work. Apparently.
Well, that's strange. You were helping enforce the Vision Hunter.
To be perfectly honest, all I know is... And it's not just that.
Does it have to do with the missing emergency
I didn't take any. Like I said. To top it all off, if you don't believe...
But we should be...
We really outdid ourselves this time. All those samurai houses packed with goods. We really hit the jackpot.
You haven't seen anything yet. Today's just the beginning. I'll be leading you all...
You demand, boss!
These seem like the treasure hoarders we're after.
Brace yourself. This is gonna hurt.
You're open. Have a little taste. You're open.
I never yield.
Try.
Back off!
Oh, there goes all the Mora. We worked hard to steal that, you know? Come on, boss. Think of something.
Not bad, kid. You ever think of joining the treasure hoarders? We could use someone like you. Kurosawa. Oh, I remember. So he's the one who sent you after us, huh? Just our luck. I knew he shouldn't have hit that place.
So what did you see inside? Was it stuffed with food supplies?
Food supplies? You kidding? That place was a complete mess. All we found was a strange-looking box, hopefully with valuables inside. I didn't want anyone else to see it, so I was planning on opening it myself once we got back. But now that you've caught us, how about we make a deal? That little box for our freedom. What do you say?
You've got a deal. Now show us what's in the box.
Huh?
What the?
There's nothing in here but IOUs!
Yeah, a lot of them too. And they all seem to be made out to the owner of a general goods store, a Miss Aoi. We're talking tons of Mora here. We better talk to this Miss Aoi and get to the bottom of this. As for you guys, you're free to go. Just pray that our paths don't cross again.
Yes, of course.
So, we redeemed ourselves for some IOUs. Does that mean we broke even?
Shut it. Let's just get out of here.
Power that ended Paishan!
Welcome to Tsukumomono Groceries. We've got everything you need. Can I help you find something? Or perhaps there's something you want to inquire about? Ah, so you're friends of Kurosawa, I take it? Perhaps you're here to pay off his debts.
Whoa, whoa! Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're just here to learn where they all came from. How did Kurosawa end up owing you so much money? Did he buy anything super expensive here?
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large quantities of foodstuffs. He'd always put the payment on his own account. However, the price of provisions began to skyrocket recently, and his salary was no longer enough to cover the cost. So, he started writing out IOUs to cover whatever he couldn't afford of the usual amount.
So that's how he was getting those emergency provisions. But why did he have to purchase a usual amount? If the prices increased, couldn't he just buy less?
Well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must have been carefully calculating how much they needed to sustain them each time. Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for them if they found they didn't have enough, especially after such long and careful planning. So he deemed it necessary to take on the debt rather than let the people down.
Wow. Kurosawa was purchasing all the emergency provisions at his own and no one ever appreciated what he did. They just complained and held him accountable.
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstances. In the face of hardship, nobody cares to think twice. If you ask me, had Kurosawa told everyone the truth about the supplies from the start, of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. As for why he took... If you're still curious, why don't you go ask him yourself? I see. That reminds me, it seems that his vision was recently confiscated. Most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the debt on his name, he'll have no choice but to sell that sword that is so dear to him.
Sword? What sword?
Oh, didn't he tell you? He possesses a very valuable blade. I've asked him about its origins. He told me that it was a gift from his father, that it was too precious to sell. In hindsight, I regret that I never made an offer on it. Everything has its price, at least that's what I think. Why don't you ask him about... Oh, but before you go, if you would kindly settle today...
But we didn't...
Information is also a kind of... Don't worry. I won't charge much for...
At least we now know where the... Let's go talk to Kurt. What are you doing here all by yourself?
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or I drew my sword. It turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Perhaps I should start using it more often. Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders?
That just about sums it up. It turns out that you really were distributing emergency...
Strange. Is that really the kind of person I was? I don't really have any such recollection. Even after all you've told me. Why was I purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? And why would I put myself in such a difficult situation? But I could not deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those two away, I could sense that this sword was once wielded by my father. I remember once when I was young, I wanted to sneak out with the blade. What did he say? It would seem that I forgot all I can remember now is my father telling me, and said to me,
Hey, if you look carefully, there seems to be some words engraved on the hilt. Can you recognize the words?
virtue and just somehow those two words seem to explain taking on seemingly endless debts to make others happy. I guess that must have been my greatest, but what use are virtue and justice? I purchased the provisions for those in need, and look how things ended up. The Tenryo Commission seized my vision, and the very people I was... And the irony of all, I'm incapable of being a good person, yet I'm...
Yet another troubled soul. When we get the chance, let's speak to Toma about Kurosawa's debt. In any case, we must never let him sell off that sword. Yeah, seems like losing all ambition is a terrible experience. Fortunately for us, you don't have a vision. Let's go find the next poor soul. The third person who had their vision taken is supposed to be a famous sword master around these parts. Paimon heard that he's the present-day master. This is his dojo. Luckily, there's some people around.
Nanako, don't worry. Sensei will be fine. Those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong.
Maybe, but things have gotten...
It's just because you...
Hey there!
Who are you? I don't care whether you're trespassers or just here to harass us while Sensei is impaired. Get out of here immediately! Don't make me draw my blade, or you won't live to...
No! You got it so wrong! We just came here to...
Disciples?
Yep. We've heard all about the mighty master of make... But then we got here and overheard you talking about...
From the way you're dressed, it doesn't look like you're... Please, accept my apologies. We've had so many people trying to cause us trouble. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. Sensei got possessed recently, and he's still recovering. He's not able... I see you are earnest in your pursuit. Okay. Sensei's name is... Though self-taught, he mastered the art of the sword to a high level. He once said that his goal was to become the best, and so... But then...
Not long ago, Sensei had his vision taken away. He says the strangest things over and over. Junya and I have discussed it, and we both think... But if I'm honest, I still have my doubts over whether he'll completely recover.
The Grand Narukami Shrine? What's that?
You haven't heard of it? It's the largest shrine on Narukami Island. The head shrine maiden is reputed to have very close ties with the almighty Shogun. Not that we'd have any means of involving the head shrine maiden, of course. But even one of the ordinary shrine maidens from the Grand Narukami Shrine would have... So don't worry, Nanako. Since... The exorcism will take place this evening.
So,
Shh. So you decided to come. It's a good thing you didn't arrive any earlier. You would have had to witness Sensei one of his fits of... Just now, when Nanako was attending to him. When she asked him who the people were, it looked like he was in great distress. He was covering his ears and looking frantically around him, with all the while he kept calling. One of them was Anzai. He used to be a fellow disciple of Sensei's. His senior, in fact. But Sensei defeated him in a duel many years ago. Sensei wouldn't stop calling his name. Thankfully, the shrine maidens managed to subdue him, so the exorcism can finally continue. The ritual has now begun. All we can do is patiently... Please, excuse me for a moment while I fetch some water.
Huh? Who's that sneaking around? Uh-oh. Could they be here to mess up the exorcism? We won't let them get away with it. Come on, let's go... Seems they aren't here. Should we keep going further up? Is this definitely the right place? Let's look a little further up. Aha! Suspicious person sighted!
How did you... Are you sure you're Domon's disciples? Unless... I guess it's been a few...
Excuse me! We're the ones asking the questions here. First off, who are you? And what are you doing sneaking around these parts? You see...
Bad news? I'll have you know I trained side by side with Domon back in the day. Long before you ever... I don't care to talk about that time anymore. But if you must know...
His senior? Wait...
Anzai? Yes, that's me. Because I don't wish to see Domon or anyone else associated with him ever again. When we were young, we trained under the same... I had begun practitioner, but Domon, Sensei... I thought so too at the time. But Domon began making swift only then did... He was
Sure sound...
Because until he... Of all the disciples, Domon's arrived later. After that So, I decided... So you see... Okay. You've heard my story.
Still, Paimon...
You're saying he isn't possessed? Does that mean he's just lost his mind? But how?
Nanako, please.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find... But spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, many of which I cannot claim to have witnessed myself. Thus, I dare not rule out possession with... And all is
Lady Yai? Is that the same lady?
The head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine? That's wonderful news! Then Sensei will be sure to...
Correct. Lady Yai is most knowledgeable indeed, and has abundant experience. I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit has possessed your sensei.
Excuse me, Miss Inagi.
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your timely arrival at the Grand Narukami Shrine. I must leave now, but we will meet soon at the shrine.
Who'd have thought Lady Yai
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough?
No, that's not what I meant at all. I just mean this is Lady Yai, the head shrine maiden. She has direct and close contact with the almighty Anyway, given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our sensei...
Sure! Who knows? Do you think that's Lady Yai? Also, is it just Paimon? Or did she look right at us just now? It was probably nothing.
Keep away. I gave up the art of the sword. Please, let me go, I beg you.
As you can see, Lady Yai, Domon has persisted in this state.
Lady Yai, it must be this is nothing like him.
I'm sorry. It is clear to me that your sensei is not possessed by any evil.
But then does that mean he...
Yes. This is a change in the person himself. Unable to cope with the tremendous pressure he was under, he suffered a spiritual collapse. As one who is thrown into the sea, though as for what has triggered this change...
Stripped of his ambition? But Lady Yai, even without his ambition...
Your school practices Meikyo Shisui art, does it not? Stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. What a fine notion. There was once one who claimed to be indifferent to then. What of the one who crossed blades with his own...
Lady Yai, I'm not sure I understand.
The path... It requires one to take their sword firmly in both hands. Only a deep when that ambition
Poor Sensei.
I'm sorry, Father.
That's enough.
Huh? Isn't that on? Did he follow us the whole...
Ansai, why are there... You're here for revenge, aren't you?
You're right to assume that my feelings toward... It's been so long now that I don't think... Now I know, but that is no reason to strip them of theirs. Follow the way of the sword all the way to the...
But what if one day... the same thing happened? I put everything I had into trying to become the best. If there's a chance they'll end up like me one...
Have you asked them what they think?
Sensei, after you rescue... I can't know whether I will... I want to keep going until the day that I can...
Nanako's far from the only one. Actually, all of us think that way.
Goodness.
You see? You can place being stripped of your ambition as something... So, just... You are not a...
I'm sorry to have made you... I no longer have the result. But this is my promise.
You can count on... But well, don't just...
So even though his ambition was taken...
Traveler, a moment, please.
So, my intuition, the wind that blows from afar carries fresh life. For us to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, you set foot on these islands at precisely the right moment. I have high hopes for you, child. Don't disappoint me.
Ooh, Lady Yai seems to have taken a... She seems super mysterious. Paimon's so curious what she really... We can come back to it another time.
May the blossoms of the sacred Sakura bloom eternally.
Guess who fulfilled all your wishes? Huh? Ayaka! Huh?
Huh? Traveler, Paimon. It is a pleasure to finally meet you both face to face. I have heard all about how you helped our three friends. My sincerest thanks to you.
Yeah. Short of getting them their visions back, Ayaka, how come this time you get to come out and meet us in person?
Because now that you have done the three things I asked of you, I consider you to be my friends. As you will observe, I dispense with the screen for Toma.
Ooh, wait a second. But isn't Toma your, servant? Paimon's happy to help and all, but
Oh. Paimon, you are most entertaining. Toma is first and foremost my friend, and was so before he ever became—
Oh, okay then. Ayaka, you
Thank you both kindly. Back to the matter at hand. You have now witnessed the pain of those deprived of their visions. What are your feelings on what you have seen? Perhaps in the eyes of a deity such as the almighty Shogun, thunders roar, lightnings flash, the winds assault, and the rains descent. But I believe that surely you understand. It seems that perhaps now you can appreciate my feelings on all of this. In which you will? Really? Naturally.
All right, bravo, my lady. You were right all along.
See? I told you she wouldn't reject them. I'd placed my trust in the right person after— Now then, given that the remainder of our discussion pertains to matters of a more confidential nature,
Well, here we are again.
Please continue without me. I'll keep watch.
So, what's the deal with this place anyway?
This is land that was gifted to the Yashiro Commission by the Shogun. The Kamisato clan has the exclusive right to plan, build, and repair any property on this land. And even to allow or deny such privileges exist due to the Yashiro Commission's role in managing ceremonial affairs.
Oh, Paimon gets it!
Once the number of ceremonial affairs conducted in the city began to decline.
Makes sense. Perfect place.
In any case, the issue is this. For the vast majority of people, after all, it is because of this, the attitude of most people towards the Vision Hunt decree is one of indifference.
How can they be like that? Paimon's getting mad.
Nevertheless, in addition to us, There was also the resistance on Watatsumi Island.
Resistance? You mean like an army fighting against the
Yes. Many who have lost or fear losing their visions have rallied together under Sangonomiya on Watatsumi Island to form a resistance group. To say a little more about Sangonomiya, historically, there has always been some conflict between them and the shogunate of Narukami Island, but I do wonder whether there may be some other agenda behind their resistance movement, beyond merely fighting the Vision Hunt decree. The almighty Shogun. I've seen her. She inspires awe, commands respect, and exudes a sense of absolute... It was her almost complete lack of any emotion. In that sense, she appeared to me to be less of a ruler and more of, well, an executive official, I suppose. Of course. We have tried. They invariably adopt a stance of unconditional support for the Shogun's decisions. They have no It almost makes one wonder whether they had a hand in the Shogun's sudden
Ooh, Paimon has a...
Oh?
Have you got a plan yet to fight the Vision Hunt decree?
To be honest, we do not.
What?
Please, do not forget that challenging the Vision Hunt decree...
So what are we gonna do?
Well, for the moment, all we can do is try and reduce the harm. For example, by providing vision bearers with safe refuge, or manufacturing counterfeit visions for them as a contingency measure.
You're telling Paimon that there are people out there who can make fake visions?
Don't underestimate the talents of the craftspeople in Hanamizaka. To the naked eye, their counterfeits are indistinguishable from the genuine article. The problem we are facing right now is that Master Masakatsu, who was providing us with counterfeit visions, has recently been arrested by the Tenri.
Darn! So they found out about it?
Yes. We knew it was not a long-term solution, and that it was only a... Exactly. I feel the same way. By no means do we intend to place the burden of such a task on your shoulders alone. When you are ready, go to Hanamizaka and look for a fireworks shop run by the Naganohara family. There,